This ras done is the worst thing you do.
Yeah. You talk before them go shut up a junior, Julie. But him shot. Why is that he could have killed him?
Worst thing you do.
Could have killed him. No. This time them pussy will have killed him. One gun. What's him man? What's him boy? You can't even manage gun. Pussy will can't even manage your gun. No man. Sodomite. Pussy big belly pussy. You should have killed me, pussy. Sodomite boy. Suck cocky boy. Suckle boy. Suckle like that. Suckle boy. Stop the man. You should have killed me. You suckle boy. Suckle beat and never show you.
Alright.
I'm gonna show you.
Alright, you don't know what you know.
Come you man. Stop pumping up here. Stop pumping up here, man. We are not
Try this on
pussy.
you.
I'm gonna kill you to a lie.
You try this on you.
Batty boy, you're too light. You're talking alright. Batty man. But we have pussy, man. And you have gear strength.
Don't worry yourself, man.
Batty boy, you have to lose that. Yeah? You feel like you're batting your gun.
Where police are? What am I coming?
Hold on, man. Never straight up a station.
Call the police.
I'll go straight up there.
Call the police.
You go by station. I just witnessed an attempted murder. Stop, man. I just witnessed an attempted murder.
Call the police. Now wait outside for the police.
Don't wait outside. You go outside and wait, man. Pussy up. You go see. Batty man. Fuck cocky pizza.
Welcome to Jamaica Dancehall Source News and Entertainment with a buzz. The edited version of the footage that you just saw, video footage, is of an incident that took place, an altercation, verbal turned physical. The girlfriend alleged that she was clad up with the gun and with some Mike Tyson boy by the boyfriend, who happens to be a JDF soldier. So we saw the altercation, we heard the lady, she's going off, and obviously if she get clad up, then she's supposed to defend herself. She's going to be obviously upset. There's a saying that goes something like this: whenever your hand is in the lion mouth, be very careful how you take it out. You cannot treat a house cat like it treats a lion, an alpha lion that is roaring in rage. My point is this: whatever the circumstances are, whoever was wrong, you have to be very careful about how you treat your rights. It does not make any sorts of sense for you to be defending your rights only to end up on the wrong side of life, meaning the afterlife. So what we see here is a man, alleged soldier, that is allegedly the person that clad up the girlfriend, lick her with the tool, all sorts of stuff, based on the charges that were filed in court. But we see that he is videotaping the whole episode. We see that this man is looking for evidence to bring to court to say that he was in fear of his life. He went to our premises. That lady had her family. That lady had a next man named Junior. So therefore, the man was in a defensive posture based on what he was videotaping, the videotape evidence that you saw. So unless, of course, that lady or somebody else in the house have documented videotapes of this man licking her with the tool, licking her with the Mike Tyson, then it is going to be the soldier's word versus hers. I think that the soldier was charged. Don't know if he lost his firepiece. Don't know if he's going to lose the case. But what we see here, this is what happens when people pick up persons that they are not compatible with. This is what happens when everything goes woefully left. This is what happens when there is trouble in paradise and the sweet turn sour. That man is now a fish. That man is now a pong. That man cannot use his tool. However, that man is alleged use a tool and clad lady. And I know that I have a whole bunch of critics, so therefore, let me make sure that they don't take what I say out of context. Under no sorts of circumstance is a man supposed to put his hand or put his tool, unless, of course, I'm like a Teely, talking about the 9 or the 4 to the 5th. So therefore, he is wrong from the get-go. especially a man versus a woman, especially a being strapped in man. However, you have some females that their mouth is going to be their problem. Their mouth is going to get them hurt, and their mouth is going to make them lose their life. Some just say, let better heads prevail whenever you make any sorts of decision, especially when your life might have been on the line, such as in the case as this case. Point blank and period. So the next thing that is popping in the news is an update about a story that I spoke about earlier on my next channel, True Jamaica Buzz. It involves a 55-year-old man known as Richard Evans, known as Richie in the street, that lost his life. He is said to be from Spanish Town. He is said to be the uncle of Tesha Miller, Don of the CLANSMAN. He is said to be a top lieutenant or one of those top-tier gangsters in the CLANSMAN gang. Based on information, it is said that the police went armed with a warrant of death. When they went to the premises, as usual, you know the cliche script, they came under fire. After they returned like fire or even bigger fire, blaze it up like Cape Town. Mr. Evans, Richie, was seen clutching onto a tool, a Glock to be specific, trying to clutch onto his life. He was taken to the hospital, however, too late was the call. Now, people, I am going to let you hear what the SSP that was in charge of the operation had to say. Then I am going to let you hear what residents that live in the area in Manchester had to say. We're speaking about the tales of two halves, two polar different stories, based on what the police had to say, based on what the residents had to say. Take a listen, take a look, and then I'll give my piece.
A team armed with a warrant went to premises in Christiana. On entering the premises, they were confronted by a man who was armed with a firearm. The man pointed the firearm in their direction. The police, in defense of their life, responded by firing in his direction. The man was eventually hit and was subsequently taken to the Persian hospital, where he was pronounced dead. It is not our wish to limit the movement of anyone within the parish. However, where we find we have issues where crime and disorder is taking place, then as a police force, we have to respond.
Our community people need to know why he was shot, because all the while they come and they let him out and take him and carry him back, and we don't know charges and we don't know what's happening. So we need to know what's happening. He's not a warmonger. People them try to help everybody in the community. If a problem in the community, he try to fix it with the young guys. Then even if we vex with each other, he try to put us together. We all in the committee are grieving to see what happened to Richard this morning. Even the baby suckling on the breast who know Richard, and if they know that he died, they are gonna grieve.
So people, like I told you, there are always three sides to the story. The side of the police, obviously that went on the mission, then the side of the residents, and then, like them say, dead men tell no tale. Obviously, Mr. Richie is no longer with us because of his past deeds, which I will explain further on in this news. So we hear the police say, them go for execute a warrant, pick up this man. However, them have to end up putting him at the back of the pickup, laying on his back, looking up in the skies, looking at the sun. Gone forever because he decided he was going to challenge the police. And we've seen that of latest resume by the police. Once you challenge them, it is going to only end up one way, meaning that a one-way ticket to the afterlife. So that is the case as it pertains to Mr. Evans. Now, people, you hear the residents. The residents said he's a body man, body mechanic, do body work. He's also a peacemaker. He is no warmonger. He is one of those persons that even if the pick them hear that he is gone, they are going to be crying crocodile tears because he treated everybody well. He is what we call a Robin Hood, rob from the well-doing and then rob and give to the poor. These people like to be beneficiaries of the proceeds of crime, so therefore they are always going to facilitate the FUCKRY. Such is the case in this case. And like they say, there's a thin line between community leader and Don. Maybe both are the same. So in other words, in one aspect of their life, they go outside the community, they create chaos and catastrophe, rob people. When them come back at the community, Robin Hood, they are acting as if they are holier than thou. So therefore, the residents might have seen one side, but they don't know the true side, the Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde side. However, a lot of time, like I said, whenever anything happens, they have to go out and they have to protest. Maybe if they don't protest, their house will be set afire. And maybe they are just so brainwashed, brain DEAD. So therefore, whenever the police come and are doing their lawful job, even if it is controversial, they're always going to have a next side. So people, like I said, this man, Richie, was living a double life. Robin Hood character to the people that he's amongst his people. Don, community leader, whichever one you want to call it, he was linked to CLANSMAN. He is the uncle of Tesha Miller. So therefore, crime and criminality and murder is in their bloodline, extortion and greed. A couple of years back, there was a project in a place called Clifton that is in Bernard Lodge, where a lot of persons claimed that they had purchased lots and they were building their houses, spending millions of dollars. This was on TVJ and CVM. However, the government intervened and the government stopped and blocked, cease and desist order on a lot of those buildings, even bulldoze some of them. Based on the information, common knowledge out there, it is said that Richie Evans, was the one that was selling these lots, selling what did not belong to him, but we know these extortionists, Klansman, one order, they feel entitled. They act as if the government property or your property belongs to them. So that was one thing that put Richie in the spotlight, but you know, government badness, politician linked with gunmen from one order and Klansman, so therefore it was swept under the rug. However, that place is now being developed. That place, persons are actually getting title and deeds for their property. So the government have big plans for over there, and it seems as if Richie and the Klansman was in the way of progress. I will speak about that later on in this part of the video. Fast forward, maybe about a year or so, don't quote me. A man was on the bus, a JUTC bus. He was preaching. When he was preaching, it is said that some persons were arguing with him. He got off that bus in the vicinity of the Bernard Lodge in the Klansman territory. It is said that that man, supposedly a man of God, was BURN up. One of those persons that was involved in that man getting burned up, I think his name is Tesha. Don't quote me on the pronunciation, and a next man named Fab. They were also linked through the Klansman. It is said that they were taking orders from Richie. There was also a next Richie. Tesha, Fab, and that next Richie is presently on the run because the police need them just like they need Richie to send them to the same place so that all of them can have one big bad gangster party. Fast forward, Saturday gone. It is said that a man, a cabman, went into that same vicinity to drop off a lady, a Rasta man. While he was there dropping off this lady at a setup, not the lady setting him up, set up as in 9-night candlelight vigil. One of them, I don't even know the difference. They stole his motor vehicle. When they stole his motor vehicle, he had a tracker on it, so therefore him lock it down. Located where the tracker was based on his phone location, GPS. When he went to recover his vehicle, the men that had stole the vehicle, they were hiding in the bushes, and when they saw him, they blazed him up with corn. It is said that those men were also linked to Richie. And remember, the people that are in Manchester, the people in a Spanish town, Bernard Lodge area, St. Catherine, they said that Richie is a body man. Richie, it said, wanted that vehicle either for the parts or full vehicle. So therefore, that is why that man lost his life after dropping off somebody. Not to say that the lady did not set him up, but she went there for a setup. Is she involved? I am not saying so. I don't have any sorts of evidence to substantiate those claims. So my point is that Based on that Bernard Lodge selling of property, based on the churchman that got burned up, and based on this recent robbery and takeaway of vehicle and murder of this Rasta man, that was where Richie was getting hot. That was where the government badness say him a losing place. That is where they are saying that he is causing all sorts of disruption in a Clifton, Bernard Lodge, and the people want peace and tranquility. Based on the fact that they are making progress, based on the fact that the government have big plans and Richie is not a part of the plan. Government badness, point blank and period. So anyways, people, thanks once again for checking out my video. If you appreciate videos like these, please show your appreciation by liking, commenting, sharing, and subscribing to my channel. That is how YouTube promotes videos like these to like-minded, sensible persons like yourself. Bless up.